Hey, Tube Lights, your host the Mad Bag here with another Mad Bag Gamer production today. Something very special, and you can see Dharma all dressed up in her evening garb. That's because I do my alchemy in the evening. So, to take a quick look at what is going to be affecting all of the potions that you're getting ready to see laid out in front of you. I have clothes on just so I'm not naked. You can't actually put an alchemy enchant on clothes. First note is that you can put bonus to alchemy enchants on your hands, ring, necklace, and head items. Any items that go on those, and note that I did not actually scroll through those in the item I was saying them. But I have 25% except for the head. Somehow I ended up with 28%. Alchemy increase enchants on all the maximum 4 items, the 4 items that you can have it on. I also have a level 100 alchemy with all of the... Oop, it's over here. Here we go. With all of the perks that affect potency of beneficial potions and of poisons. So there's a couple perks up here that I don't have. Snake Blood and Purity. Those don't affect the potency, like the power, the duration, or the amount of damage dealt of any potions. However, I have all the perks that do. So roughly 100% increase and all of the right alchemy perks. Now, before we get into the potions that I like, the potions that I think are especially useful and what they're useful for, I'm going to give you guys a repository of knowledge. So in my inventory right now, I have at least one version of every alchemical reagent in the game. I also have all 4 effects of every reagent revealed, except for one, which is the Jaren root, and that's because you can only get one of it ever in the game, and you can use it to make a poison. As I scroll over it, I'll list its effects. However, I can't reveal them because the first time I use it, it's gone. I'll never have it again. Alright, so here we go. Abyssian Longfin, Bear Claws, Bee, Beehive Husk, Bleeding Crown, Blister Wart, Blue Butterfly Wing, Blue Dart Wing. This is going to get really tongue-twisting fast. Blue Mountain Flower, Bone Meal, Briarheart, Butterfly Wing, Canis Root, Charred Skeever Hide, Charis Eggs, Chicken's Egg, Creep Cluster, Crimson Nernroot, Cyrodiilic Spadetail, Daedra Heart, Deathbell, Dragon's Tongue, Dwarven Oil, Ectoplasm, Elf's Ear, Eye of Sabercat, Falmer Ear, Fire Salts, Amanita, Frost Miriam, Frost Salt, Garlic, Giant Lichen, Giant's Toe, Glow Dust, Glowing Mushroom, Grass Pod, Hograven Claw, Hograven Feathers, Hanging Moss, Hawkbeat, Hawkbeak, Hawk Feathers, Hissed Carp, Honeycomb, Human Flesh, Human Heart, Ice Race Teeth, Imp Stool, Jaren Root. Here's the root that you get during a Dark Brotherhood quest. Note that you don't have to use it in the quest. I actually ended up with it through a glitch. For some reason I could not give the cook the Jaren root when it came that time in the dialogue options, so it ended up staying in my inventory. So here are the 4 effects of the Jaren root. Damage health, damage magicka, damage stamina, damage magicka regen. The guide says that any potion with those effects that has this root in it is the most powerful variation of the potion possible. So when you want to make that, I don't know, the one poison that you'll save for your arch nemesis, whoever that may be, use the Jaren root in it. So, continuing right along, Jazzbay Grapes, Juniper Berries, Large Antlers, Lavender, Luna Moth Wing, Moon Sugar, Moria Tapinella, Mudcrab Chitin, Namira's Rot, Nightshade, Nernroot, Nordic Barnacle, Orange Dartwing, Pearl, Pine Thrush, Purple Mountain Flower, Red Mountain Flower, River Betty, Rock Warbler Egg, Sabercat Tooth, Salt Pile, Scaly Foliota, Silverside Perch, Skeever Tail, Slaughterfish Egg, Slaughterfish Scales, Small Antlers, Small Pearl, Snowberries, Spider Egg, Spriggan Sap, Swamp Fungal Pod, Taproot, Thistle Branch, Torchbug Thorax, Troll Fat, Tundra Cotton, Vampire Dust, Void Salts, Wheat, White Cap, and Wisp Wrappings. So, the point of that section is so that you can pause this video on any of those items you would like to see its 4 effects, and so that you can use this little clip of the video to get your own alchemy stuff revealed. Now, as far as revealing any given alchemical reagent, there's a couple things you can do to make it go along faster. If you want to use this little repository, don't eat anything, because that's essentially a waste of one ingredient, and I'll show you why. Say you don't know that the Abyssian Longfin gives you Weakness to Frost and Fortify Sneak, which are the first two effects. Effects go from left to right, so Weakness to Poison and Fortify Restoration are the third and fourth effects. But pretend he doesn't have the first two effects. You can check this here on your ingredients list, and then you can go to the category of the effect, say Weakness to Frost or Fortify Sneak. Let's go Fortify Sneak first because it's closer. Any other items that you've already revealed that have that effect, you can check here, and then you can go to the next one, which was Weakness to Frost. And same thing, check one here. Now when you make this potion, it will reveal two effects on the Abyssian Longfin and only use one of them. This is especially useful on really rare reagents like Daedra Hearts and Eye of Saber Cats and, well, the Jaren Root, although I'll probably use it that way. I'm not sure it's going to exactly work out to reveal two effects, I don't know. But just note that you can reveal two effects by just choosing two of the married effects reagents. So there's that much about the potions. So you've seen the ingredients and their effect. Now I'm going to go down the category lists so that you can see just a snapshot of the different ingredients or the different reagents that are in each category, or that can be put together into each potion. So if you'd rather sort it this way, just pause through this section of the video. So Cure Disease, Damage Health, quite a few there. Damage Magicka, Damage Magicka Regen, Damage Stamina, Damage Stamina Regen, Fear, Fortify Alteration, Fortify Barter, Fortify Block, Carry Weight, Conjuration, Destruction, Enchanting, Health, Heavy Armor, Illusion, Light Armor, Lockpicking, Magicka, scroll? No scroll. Fortify Marksman, One-Handed, Pickpocket, Restoration, Smithing, Sneak, Stamina, and Fortify Two-Handed, and then Frenzy, Invisibility, Lingering Damage Health, Lingering Damage Magicka, Lingering Damage Stamina, Paralysis, Ravage Health, Ravage Magicka, Ravage Stamina, Ravage... Regenerate, I'm sorry, not Ravage, eyes getting crossed. Regenerate Health, Regenerate Magicka, Regenerate Stamina, Resist Fire, Resist Frost, Resist Magic, Resist Poison, Resist Shock, Restore Health, Restore Magicka, big list, Restore Stamina, another decent sized one, Slow, Water Breathing, Weakness to Fire, Weakness to Frost, Weakness to Magic, Weakness to Poison, Weakness to Shock. Okay, so another good way to level these up is to watch that part of the video and pause it on any given category that you want to round out, like say pause it when I'm on Damage Health, see my full list of Damage Health, go into your ingredients in the game, and then just go down the list and check these three. Boom, make a potion out of it. You'll reveal the effect of these, Damage Health on all three of them, and then, boom, they'll be in this category list. And then do that as you go down, and that will help you reveal one certain effect and all the different various ingredients that can attribute to that effect. How best to level using potions. As you click through any of these topics, you can see counts of the ingredients that you have in any given topic. And ideally you want to find one of these categories, one of these topics, with a high number of two different ingredients, like 66 red mountain flowers and say 34 troll fat. That's a pretty decent number, or even 38 deathbell, that's better. And you want to use only two ingredients and just spam out potions. So this 91 points of poison damage, that's not a bad poison, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple. I just sit here and do... Oh, I did not mean to click Nern Root. I actually wasted some of those, that's not cool. I just sit here and craft like this, just spam them, bam, 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 go right through those numbers, and level them up. And then you can jump to another category and look for two other high numbers. Combining 3 ingredients doesn't level your alchemy any faster. However, that can be useful for when you're trying to determine what effects are. But leveling, just ideally, you go find 2 really high ones that are together in a potion and spam them out, and you can level up pretty dang quick. So let's take a look at what it's like to level some alchemy. I am now on my mage, and you will notice that my mage has a much lower level of alchemy and absolutely no alchemy perks. So that alchemy, I want to say it's mostly from books. I've made a couple potions, but not really much. For the most part, I've just collected ingredients with this character, thrown them in a chest here in my house, and never touched them. So I should have plenty of, see, like 31 death bell. I should have plenty of categories here that have decent numbers of ingredients in them. And you'll notice I have a lot of unknowns on this character as well. I'm sure this list overall is a lot shorter than it is on my archer. So let's just jump into one of these that has, here, this is a decent example. I don't like using Dragon's Tongue on menial stuff, but let's just check 2 and spam through. Got about a half a level off those 10. Let's go to another random category here. Let's use something with Death Bell, because the neat thing whenever you have one really tall reagent is that you can kind of go through a number of others. So I've got 31 Death Bell, 1 Imp Stool. Use it, still have 30. Now I have 15 Farmer Ear. Let's use all 15 of those Farmer Ear. Still have Death Bell. Let's spam out the Nightshade. Still have Death Bell. Let's get rid of the River Betties. Ooh, I found out the River Betties slow. Sweet. Still have Death Bell. Alright, and I'm about to run out finally. So now let's jump to another category, and you can see how you can level this pretty quickly if you just constantly collect reagents. Just anywhere you go, never throw them away, never sell them. Just pick stuff up because all the ingredients are really light anyway. Always hang on to them anytime you're in town. Just slap them in some random drawer or chest or stash or just wherever. And boom, I've gotten a couple levels here. Pretty quick and easy. Another tip to leveling up alchemy is once you get a high enough level, this character's level 47, and you'll notice that I've got about 30,000 gold on this character. Once you get to a high enough level, it takes around 1,000 gold to buy out the stores of an alchemist in town. And 1,000 isn't huge, and you can literally buy all of their ingredients. You can just spam it and get everything. So I would recommend that if you have a crap ton of gold and you're interested in leveling up your alchemy so that you can see how it benefits other skills and see how you can create synergy between it and some of your damage dealing or some of your survivability or even some of your, say, speechcraft, you should do that with a couple different alchemists. Go buy their entire ingredient stores and then just work on it one way or the other. Either set and reveal effects using the repository of knowledge I gave you, or set and spam out potions just to get your skill up. So let's take a look at what it might look like to reveal some effects on some reagents. Again, back on my mage, doesn't have very much of anything revealed about all these. Let's take a look at Ice Wraith Teeth. I happen to know from looking at my repository of knowledge, which for me is the guide, for you is this video, that the other effects of Ice Wraith Teeth include Fortify Heavy Armor, Invisibility, and Weakness to Fire. So, as you can see over here, I don't have any Fortify Heavy Armor effects revealed yet, so if I wanted to reveal that, I would have to look up some other item that I don't know has Fortify Heavy Armor, and combine those just out of blind faith. However, I do have something that grants Invisibility, Vampire Dust, and I do have something that grants Weakness to Fire. Actually, a couple somethings. Frost Salts. So here I've checked an ingredient that I do not know the effects of, and one ingredient from 2 different effects that I know are applicable to this. When I craft, bada bing! I actually learned a whole lot here. Let's see, I learned that Ice Wraith Teeth has Invisibility. I learned that Ice Wraith Teeth has Weakness to Fire. I learned that Frost Salts restore Magicka, and that Vampire Dust restores Magicka. So apparently, Ice Wraith Teeth had a Restore Magicka component that it shared with both Frost Salts and Vampire Dust. Boom! 4 effects revealed, only 3 ingredients used to do it. Sweet! Now, as far as poisons, since I'm on an archer, I'm going to start with some of the best pure, raw, health-damaging poisons you can get. Really, there's no 2 that I'm going to say use these 2. These 2 are the best. But one thing I will say is include two different types of damage. So there's a damage health category. There is also a ravage health category. Both of these essentially have the same effect, but they have different item lists, and only a few of them go in both. So let's see, a skeever tail is, I think, the only item that has both effects for damage health and for ravage health. So check a skeever tail, and then check any other ravage health item. So now we have a poison that will ravage health. However, it has an item in it that could be consistent with a third ingredient from damage health. So let's come back up here and pick just about anything out of damage health, and boom, now you have a poison that has both effects stacked. Causes 61 points of concentrated poison damage, causes 61 points of poison damage. So with only damage health, I got a potion up to 91. However, with three of two different effects, where one of the three matches the effect of the other outside two, I can get, a full 30 more damage out of that poison. I'm kind of low. I'll go ahead and make this one. Why not? I don't want to spam away a whole lot of ingredients because I really like having huge stockpiles of everything. Another really useful damage health, or I should say just in general HP, hit point damaging combination, is anything with the lingering damage health. Imp Stool is a really common mushroom you can find in caves everywhere, and it has both damage health and lingering damage health effects. So if you get anything else that has a lingering damage health, and then anything else that has a damage health, I guess I should have checked something while I was up here, huh? You'll get 30 points over 10 seconds. That magicka is not intentional. I can change that by coming back down to this lingering damage health category and taking that one off. Let's try one of these. Okay, there you go. That's a little bit more pure. 30 points of damage over 10 seconds, and then 61 points of poison damage. So ultimately, that comes out to be the same as just using a couple of damage health ingredients. But part of it is like an over time. So if you're flinging arrows or if you're swinging swords, you can smack two different guys with this. If you have that perk for double poison uses on your weapon. Another great way to make health damaging poisons is to include a health damaging component. So let's check 2 damage health. Let's see, I've got a number of death bells still. Yeah, I think death bell will be a good choice. And to make sure that one of these, notice I just came down here and slapped troll fat just for the damage health. And then I looked at the second reagent I was going to put in and made sure it had another negative impact to it. Not necessarily a health damage effect, but in this case, slow. So now the poison has the 91 points of poison damage. Let's go, since we know the death bell has a slow component, to the slow category and choose anything else. Salt pile, sure, those are common. Alright, so now we have a poison of slow that decreases speed by 50% for a very long time and causes our poison damage. You can do this same thing with any other negative effect, like say, let's say damage magicka, sure. Let's see if we have any damage health component that also damages magicka. Damage health. Damage magicka. Human heart. Ooh, those are rare. I don't necessarily want to use one in a potion. Do we have any others that damage health and damage magicka? Damage stamina. That would be a decent example. If you wanted to slow somebody down, make a melee attacker not attack so often, while doing some health damage to him. Oh, paralysis. That is actually a perfect example. That is way better than damage magicka. Paralysis is another one that is really handy. Now, the thing about paralysis to keep in mind, especially if you have the perk that allows you to use 2 attacks of a poison on your weapon whenever you apply it, the paralysis will be... Restore health. Hold on, I don't want that. That was not... Okay, there we go. Paralysis will be resisted if the target's already paralyzed. So if you have the perk for 2 attacks worth of any poison, when you put this on your weapon, you're going to want to hit 2 different targets. That way you paralyze and hurt one guy, and then paralyze and hurt another guy, instead of paralyzing and hurting one guy, and then just hurting him a little bit more. The paralyzed would be lost. But that's another really great health damaging poison. I normally keep a number of these on me, and a number of the slow ones as well, which I showed with the salt. Useful for an archer, of course, the Fortify Marksman potion. You can see the different reagents here that give Fortify Marksman. I've just clicked 2 of them so you can kind of see an effect. About 122% more bow damage. 60 seconds is a decent duration. Regenerate Health is another great potion for archers. This one goes good for warriors as well. Not so much for mages, since my mage has a really low hit point pool. I would assume that most mages do. Regenerating health doesn't really help low hit point pools because you just need the health right now. You need it to survive the next hit. However, with an archer and then with the huge hit point pools of a warrior, Regenerate Health you can either use as a warrior to have on in addition to spamming potions because you need that much health as a warrior. You take a crap ton of damage. Or as an archer, you can run, you can kite. You can, anytime things get a little nasty, you get a little low on health, if you know you have a Regenerate Health potion on you, active, you can just start running away from them and eventually have your health back. This is also a nice thing to mix with things like Fortify Marksman. You can see that Juniper Berries has both effects, Regenerate Health and Fortify Marksman. So this, say in a tough boss fight, will not only make your bow better, but it will make your health come back faster, which is always great. And then right down below that, Regenerate Stamina. This one is really useful for melee warriors and archers as well. Not at all useful for mages, of course, because stamina, jerk. I guess that, you want to run around. You want to run around more easily, more sprintfully, then sure. But archers use a lot in their zoom in, which slows time. And then, of course, melee of all sorts use a lot of stamina just in swinging their weapon in the power attacks. So Regenerate Stamina is another great one to have. Let's glance around this real quick. Oh, here's a decent one. Regenerate Stamina, Restore Magicka, Fortify Carry Weight, Fortify. So, the Fly Amanita both regenerate stamina and fortifies two-handed. So the Regenerate Stamina will make your stamina come back, and then Fortify two-handed. Let's see if coupled with any other Regenerate Stamina, and then if coupled with Fortify two-handed, will, holy crap, this actually has a couple effects I did not anticipate. Will attack anything nearby. Let's go this route, because that, holy crap, it's got even more effects. Okay, so you guys can see that you can stack to obscene levels with some of these if just the effects align right. If more than one effect aligns between all 3 of your different ingredients. But what I wanted to showcase is like a stamina regeneration that also increases your weapon skill. Same concept as with the Fortify Marksman on the Regenerate Health. Double bonuses, double good! Invisibility can be cool for an archer, a sneak type. Honestly, my sneak was so good so early, I never even had to screw with any of this. I've always sold my invisibility potions, just because I can sneak right in front of people. I don't need to be invisible. Of course, for those pesky dragon fights, your resist fire, your resist frost, these can be real deal breakers. You can see you can get up to like 91% pretty easily. That means that you can pretty much shrug off all of the damage of a dragon. I wonder, this is something I actually haven't explored yet, is there something that both resists fire and frost? That would be an interesting, weakness to frost. That would be a contradictory. But an interest, resist fire, resist frost. Check that out. So there's a way here that we could make a potion that resists fire and frost almost totally for 60 seconds. So you could pop that when you see a dragon. You don't even have to wait for him to breathe on you once. Either one, you're covered. And that way you don't have to take up 2 different potion slots in your bag too, which, if that list gets big, can be quite cumbersome. Another really useful one for the archer, weakness to poison. This makes all of your other stuff a lot better. So let me see what kind of an effect value level I can get here. It looks like it stays at 61. 61% weaker to poison. That makes all your poisons hurt more. I think it makes effect poisons last longer, and then it makes damage just, 61% better. So those 91 poisons, those turn into, oh geez, I don't even know, like close to 150, probably more like 130 actually, once you crunch the sub 100 and the not quite, the just over half, 51%. I'm rambling, aren't I? Comparatively, I would not call the weakness to fire, weakness to frost, and weakness to magic, and I guess weakness to shock, poison's very useful for a mage, and that's because you gotta put it on a weapon and then hit him with it. So you gotta like carry a bow and an arrow, or you gotta carry a sword. There are builds out there where you do like a mage, a spell sword, like a mage warrior hybrid. I don't really like those just because the warrior asks that you invest in stamina, the mage asks that you invest in magicka, and doing the split, it kind of ends up with both inefficient. So these, I think, are way less useful. However, if you are one of those hybrid builds, then of course, probably your weakness to magic would be, I can only imagine it's the most all-purpose, 61%. They're probably all going to be about 61%. 91, never mind! If you are a fire mage, use weakness to fire over weakness to magic, because it'll make your fire amazing. It'll about double the damage of your fire. I don't know really that that's worth carrying a dagger and having to get up close to your opponent and all that jazz. I'd rather just spam out a second fire spell. However, other potions that are useful for mages, of course, your Restore Magickas. You can get up to pretty hefty amounts here pretty easily. You'll notice that I have, crap tons of some of these. 45. Oh crap, there's a huge one. 190 points of magicka back though, and if I wanted I could make another 30 of those potions really easily. Restore health is useful for a mage, useful for a warrior, useful for an archer, anybody really. Resist shock I find especially useful for a mage, because those opponents that have shock spells, though they are few and far between, can be a real pain to deal with when they're wiping out your magicka all the time. Resist magic can be a decent one as well, depending, if you're a Breton, obviously you already have some resist magic, so you probably don't even want to worry about it. If you're a high elf though, there have been some pretty nasty mage fights where, like, say their frost just destroys me, or they're throwing other stuff at the same time. Resist magic covers all categories, although remember it's not quite as strong, down there at that 30% as like a resist frost would be at like, I don't know, 90%. You regenerates, the magic one's really useful because you're going to have a huge magic pool. The regenerate health, the regenerate stamina aren't so useful because those pools are smaller, so comparatively enemy hits are a bigger portion. So you generally just need the health immediately. You can't really wait around for it to come back to you. Of course, all of the fortifications, if you use any of these spells, any of these spell schools, I should say, illusion, whatever, these are all really great. It makes them stronger. I think it makes destruction do more damage. What's the destruction one again? Let's cancel that out. Yeah, 152% stronger. That is absolutely enormous. That's more than double damage on all your spells. That is a huge boon. And you can mix these too. Some of them. I don't know exactly which. Like Fortified Destruction, Fortify Magicka. That would be a really good one to do. Fortified Destruction, Restore Magicka. That would be the kind of potion that once you've already expended a bunch and you've still got a lot of fight to go, or whatever, you can Restore Magicka and Destruction, get your Destruction up at the same time. Fortify Enchanting potions will become paramount, although we'll get to that later. Fortify Barter can go good for any character. I don't really use this just because I've gotten to a point with my speechcraft where I can just take the gold from every merchant I come up to pretty much immediately. But if you're making runs to town and you're not wiping out the merchant's gold stores, maybe make a couple Fortify Barter potions and, make sure that happens. Make sure you get every little bit of gold off all of your loot. Normally by the time you're able to make these potions that really make a good noticeable difference, you're high enough level that money doesn't make a difference. So it's kind of a weak choice. And that mostly rounds it out for all of my favorite potions. I'm not a big fan of Fear and Frenzy, just because they have a maximum level and up to level 24. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't like it not being reliable. I don't like, I can't whip that out on any guy I fight. I can only use it on those Forsworn, and if I'm fighting that big one, he won't get it. If I shoot him accidentally with it, not thinking it's a Briarheart, I don't actually have the levels memorized. So I'm not sure exactly that a Briarheart would resist it, but just that there are some that would resist it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. To round this video out, I originally wanted to explore the locations of some of the more rare ingredients, but that would take me an incredibly long amount of time. I even went as far as to look over all of the ingredients and kind of determine which ones I thought were the most rare. But just going to each one of them, showing where they are, that is going to take way more time than I'm going to be able to dedicate to this, and this video has already been delayed for quite a while, so maybe in the future sometime I will make an addendum to this. I will do a part 2 and include some of that information, but as of right now, that is going to be all of the alchemical information for this video, and if I can, I'm going to get this dragon down and kill him. However, I want to extend an offer to anybody who is having trouble finding a specific ingredient. Since I have the guide, and since I've found most of these and I generally know where a lot of them are, by all means, leave a comment below. As of right now, I still read every single comment I get on all of my videos. Leave a comment below asking for a specific ingredient. You know, look early at this video and find the ingredient you want and paste its name down there. And I guess you'd have to type it out because you can't copy and paste from the video. That's silly. Anyway, leave its name down there and ask me where it is, and I'm not sure I can respond real quickly, but I will eventually respond and let you know at least a source or two of where you might be able to find that ingredient. And it looks like I've lost this dragon even, so I'm not going to be able to bring you some fun dragon killing shenanigans. But I will instead just leave you with that offer and say to you, of course, thank you everyone for watching. This has been the Mad Bag. If you liked the video, let YouTube know, and if you like my potential for future content, like, say, alchemy ingredient locations, then please subscribe. See you guys later.